Hi everyone, my name is Rod, and that's my wife, Christel. So we thought it'd be fun. I'm gonna interview my wife today for y'all, and just gonna ask her a few questions. She wanted to do a topic today. She wanted me to pick a topic, so I just picked some interview questions just for fun, just to get to know us a little bit. So you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So first of all,
I haven't seen these questions yet, by the way, so we'll see.
Yeah, she doesn't know what the questions are. So make sure she doesn't look. I got them right here, so make sure she doesn't look. So how long have we been married?
100 years. It feels like.
Yep. 32 years.
32 years.
32 years.
32 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
32 years.
32 wonderfully fantastic.
Glorious years.
Absolutely.
Every year has been glorious. Yep. We never argue. Never. So, just kidding on that one. So,
it's like they didn't know that. Right?
They know, right. After 32 years, they know there's going to be some arguments. So, hopefully not right now. That would be embarrassing. So, how did we meet?
Well, we met at a nightclub, which, I used to be embarrassed to say that, but we actually did meet at a nightclub. And he paid the bouncer $5 to get in the back door because I'm older than him, unfortunately.
I was how old at that time?
19.
Right. So you was in the 21 club.
Yes, I was.
Yep.
Party and get my groove on.
That's right. So now this is going to be a tough question for you. But what was we've had a lot of anniversaries. What was our best anniversary that we celebrated that you can remember?
That I can remember?
Yeah, we've had a lot of them. Yep.
Wow, that's a tough question because it would have to be one where we kind of did something. Oh, I know. It was when we went downtown.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
We went downtown and we stayed at a hotel downtown, which was absolutely fantastic because we stayed there. We took our stuff. We stayed just overnight. And then we also went to dinner downtown. So it was nice because the place we went to dinner at, we walked to, and then we walked back to the hotel, which I love that.
And then we went to a play.
Oh, that was so
Went to a play.
Yeah, we did.
That was right around the corner too.
Yeah.
And then the next morning we walked, I don't want to exaggerate, but I think it was 4 miles to our favorite breakfast place downtown. It wasn't that far, but it was a long walk.
It felt like a long walk. But you know what? Yeah. It was a nice walk. It wasn't like we were tired or anything. It was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, it was good. So
it's downtown. We don't go downtown that often. We live in the suburbs.
That's right. Okay, so when we first got married, you were a single parent. What was that like? It's kind of a tough question, but
it is, and it was so long ago. But you know what? Life was good still. I mean, I was a single parent, but I was working hard, and I was doing the best that I could for my daughter. And, we were doing our thing. Both my parents were alive at that time, and I had a lot of support from my family. And then I met you.
Yeah, then you met me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how many kids do we have now?
We have 3.
Yes.
Unos, dos, tres.
And how are the kids different from one another? We have 2 girls and a boy. How are they different from one another?
Well, they all have different personalities. And so they're very unique and individual for each of them. And, I love them all the same, but I love certain qualities that each of them have. And of course, my baby boy is just a little bit special to me.
Yes. So then what makes you most proud of your kids, though?
I'm very proud of their successes and their achievements because to me, my kids seem to be fearless. And I don't recall being that fearless when I was that age, nor do I even feel like I can be that fearless now.
I think you were fearless. You've been fearless
so?
as long as I've known you. So no, you've been pretty fearless.
Yeah.
But they are fearless, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
And they're go-getters.
Yeah.
And they have dreams and aspirations, and they shoot for the stars.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're really close with your kids, all of them. How do you explain that? You talk to them all the time. They visit you sometimes. How do you explain that? This closeness that you have. Yeah.
Well, I think part of the closeness that we have is I've always been real with my kids and honest, and I talk to them and I tell them real things, and I listen to what they have to say because, what they have to say is important. So I believe their lives are important and what's happening in their lives are important. And I give them the best that I can give them myself to say, this is my experience, this is what I know, this is what I understand. And I share that with them. And I think they respect that.
I agree. So you once told me when I first met you that your kids, all your kids were going to be college graduates. Why was that important to you?
Because they're black. They will graduate from college. Period.
Yep.
Because education is important.
Yep. And how'd you pull that off, though? I mean,
Well, college was never an option. It was always something I've mentioned. So when you grow up and when you go to college, when you get out of high school and when you go to college. So it was just never something that they thought of as, if I want to. They always thought of it as when I grow up and go to college. It wasn't an option.
right.
It was, you're going to college, you're going to finish, and that's all that's to it. It's just a part of life. It's a natural progression of your life, and this is what's going to happen.
Right. I agree. We set that expectation, and we just assumed that they were going to go to college.
Yeah.
Period. And they knew it.
Yeah, it was an expectation.
We didn't choose what they did,
No.
but it was an expectation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, what is the key? This is a tough question too. What has been the key to you raising your kids? Because your kids are amazing kids. So, what has been the key to that?
What has been the key?
And that's a tough question because there's no one thing.
Yeah, I don't think there is a one thing. I feel like I'm blessed to have such awesome kids. And I'm sure that a part of that is me, but I think they've had a strong foundation in us, in our relationship, and us as parents.
Love.
Because a lot of
We
love.
accept them who they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of hugs. I've hugged my kids.
I'm not a
there when they
hugger.
need me.
I don't do that. Yeah, I don't
That's
do that.
okay. I got enough hugs.
But
for
they
all
know
of
I
us.
care about them. Yeah, they know I care.
They do. I mean, the thing is that they know that we care about them, that we love them. They know that we are here for them. They know that we're going to listen.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard. I remember it being hard at some points to even listen to them because you come from home and we'd be exhausted and it's like, golly, it just took me 2 hours, literally 2 hours to drive home. And now they want to talk. And sometimes that was tough. But you know what? You do it, you listen, you try to be as supportive as you can and be there for your kids.
And we've done that. I mean, yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, I think so.
So this is another tough question.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got?
So I've always told you basically you're a statistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
Black woman, single parent. You didn't get a chance to go to school, but yet you were very successful in corporate world. You raised an amazing family. I mean, how did you do that? I mean, and this is a tough question. There's no one thing, but how did you do that though? And what's your message to people that were like you?
That's a tough one. Well, maybe it's not so tough. I think for the most part, it's perseverance. It's like I had to take care of my child. There was not an option. There wasn't a choice. There wasn't a failure. There was no opportunity to fail. It's do or do not. Is that Yoda? Do or do not. And my option was do. I had to do what I had to do to take care of my daughter. So I pushed myself to go out there and take jobs that I wasn't qualified for. I mean, I don't think I ever actually applied for or got a job that I was actually qualified for, but yet I got the job anyway. I did the best I could. I researched information. I talked to people. Google is my best friend. And I would get on there and search out, okay, how do I do this? How do I do this? I took a lot of classes.
Yeah.
I went to school. I went to the university. I went to the community college. I took networking classes. I took computer classes. I took programming classes. I took whatever I needed to do to learn what I had to do to get that job done and to make that money.
Yep. And you've always been successful.
Yeah.
Okay, so
People trusted me, and they found that I could do it. Because it's not a matter of just learning all this stuff and I'm not applying it successfully. I took that information that I learned and I applied it successfully.
You did.
In some cases, it was the best way that I knew how to do it, but it was effective.
Exactly. Remember. Okay, 2 more questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell us the story. Remember when you walked in a room and those kids were there? So
Oh,
tell us that story, and then what did that mean to you? What did you think about that?
that was very sweet.
Yeah.
So this is way back in the day. I was working for a company, and what they had was um, I'm not sure what the day was called, but basically it was a day where they would have high school students come in, spend the day at the company. They would walk around, see people in their jobs, doing their jobs, and then at the end of the day, they wanted to show them, which basically was the video room, video conferencing room, because they were in one state and we were in a different state. And so my team was chosen to come into the video conference room and talk with these kids and say hello and kind of talk about what we do for the company. And I remember that day I had a lot of meetings going on. I was busy and I wasn't sure if I could make this meeting, but I was going to try my best. And I sent my team ahead to go to the meeting. So they were in this huge video conference room, very large TV screens. The students could see my team and they could see them, and they were having a conversation. And I finally got out of the meeting that I was in, and it was probably maybe 15 minutes into this meeting already started. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go in. I know I'm going to walk in late, but it's important, and kids are important. And I wanted to be there and represent. So I remember going up to the meeting. I was riding the elevator upstairs to the big meeting room, and I was kind of thinking, oh gosh, I'm going to walk in late. I really don't like being late, but I'm going to do it. It's for the kids, so I'll just suck it up and do it. And I remember walking into the room, and when I walked into the room, again, the screen is huge, so I could see all these students in this other room across the country. And they said, wow, who's that? And they started to clap and applaud. And I was humbled. I didn't know what to do at first. And I remember I walked in feeling so humbled by these kids, and it was a bunch of minority kids. That's what impressed me so much. And they said, "Wow, you work there?" I said yes. And I told them that I was the manager, and I said, "I see you've already met my team. These are the people that work for me." And they were amazed by that. They were just amazed. And I have to say that in all my life, at any job I've ever worked in, that is probably my proudest moment, because I got to walk into a room where a bunch of minority kids looked at me as almost an anomaly, as they hadn't seen any black people. Probably
Managers, executives.
in managers.
Yeah.
That were in a position of authority. So I felt really good that day. That was a good day.
Yep.
And I hope all those kids are doing well. I don't know where they are today, but man, I tell you.
But that was a good day.
I
Good
hope
moment.
that made a moment for
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
To be something. Yeah.
Okay, last question. This is the finale question. So, like a lot of parents are struggling today, which is, we know that.
Yeah,
Parents are
yeah.
struggling, trying to figure things out. It's hard.
Right.
I mean, who knows what to do sometimes. But what advice can you give parents that are struggling to raise their kids today? What can you tell them? This is the last question.
Wow. What advice?
And I know there's not one thing. We know that we raised our family.
Yeah.
But, just for this one advice that you can give.
Well, let me think. The one thing that I can say, without a doubt, as a parent, do the best that you can for your kids. You're not perfect. You're not going to do everything perfectly right. I mean, we're still kids growing up ourselves. There's no manual that says how to be the perfect parents. There are tons of books that tell you everything about everything, and we try to look at all this information and piece it together and take pieces of here and take pieces of there. There's no perfect fit, but we can do the best that we can, and we can do better than those that have done for us. Because you can always improve on something, even parenting.
Yeah.
Use your common sense and understanding, and take that opportunity to understand and pay attention to your kids. Let them understand how you're feeling, because that's real. Share that with them. Help them to understand that you're doing what you can, and that you're not doing it just for yourself, but you're doing it for their benefit, because you want them to grow up and live a fantastically wonderful life.
And there's nothing better than that.
No, there's nothing better than having your kids outshine you,
Exactly.
do better than you, raise the bar even higher than what you yourself did, because they just pass it on down.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Yep. I agree with you. Okay, so that's it. So thanks for joining us. This is Rod and Christel, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Take
Bye.
care.